Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Hi there, I'm Kathryn Oh. I am currently calling in from Concord, Massachusetts. I am a primary care physician of 30 years, and just last year I became a food founder where we create delicious and functional koji fermented breakfast puddings to improve your gut health and energy.
Awesome. So, how did you get the idea to start this business?
Well, first of all, over the years, I have been in a private practice, and as a primary care physician, you develop long-term relationships with your patients where, every 6 months to every year, they come back and you see their progress. And so many of my patients, especially as we've been all sort of getting older together, have had many gut issues that I could not help or solve for them, especially the run-of-the-mill gut issues like bloating, constipation, the unwanted weight gain, mild IBS symptoms. It just goes on and on. And, with the various medications, either prescription or over the counter, and then referrals to gastroenterologists, and they would have these expensive procedures and scopings, top and bottom colonoscopies. And then they would come back after spending like $3,000 to $5,000. And then they say, I need your help, fix me. And there's nothing I could do for them. So with this frustration, I looked at different medications, spoke to a bunch of my colleagues, and really didn't find any good solutions the traditional Western medicine way. So I looked into food. And as us physicians, we're really don't get a lot of training in nutrition. I had to do a lot of the learning myself. But with all this craze with fermented foods and mushrooms, I started to really dig in to look at all the different fermented food options, and then saw that, koji fermentation. So this is a recipe that runs in my family. This is my grandmother's recipe that I looked at, and I said, oh my God. And there's a lot of PubMed published research that's coming out of Japan and Korea about the health, the health value of koji in koji fermentation. So then as I learned more about it, I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And using my grandmother's recipe, I modernized it to fit the North American lifestyle and taste buds and flavors. So I created something called hopscotch, which, it sounds like a funny name for koji fermented brown rice. But the reason behind that is because, I know that so many of my patients are so bogged down by all the complications of, what kind of foods to eat, not to eat, different fermented foods, fiber and probiotics, prebiotics. It's just so complicated and intimidating. And I wanted to make it more like, what? It doesn't have to be so complicated. It doesn't have to be so hard. It could actually be fun, easy, and delicious. Period.
Amazing. So, I guess as of right now, were your products mostly sold on your website, direct to consumer, or in retail? Where can your customers find your products?
So we are available on our online store through our website, and we have just launched this in 2024. So I am now getting into various retail, independent retails. Currently, I just came back demoing from Pemberton Farms Marketplace, which is in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's it's a family-owned independent grocer with premium products, really well known in the neighborhood, and have their customers real trust. So we're going into not really like specialty, supplement stores, but really independent grocery stores where, we can interact with customers who are having gut issues and other people who just want to be healthy.
For sure. But I guess in terms of your products, like how have you gotten the word out? Is it more of just reaching out to your patients or former patients, or like have you run ads? Like how have you been able to get this product in front of your customers to this day?
Yes, so we just launched recently, so we're just learning as we go. So right now we have, our social media presence on Instagram, just started to post some things on TikTok as well as Facebook, and some short reels on YouTube. But we are now looking into other avenues and maybe partnering with influencers and other healthcare professionals. I'm also looking into partnering with registered dietitians and nutritionists, and hopefully attending some of their conferences and promote my product, but also really let the word out about the amazing benefits of koji fermentation.
For sure. And I think especially what you've created is like a very like new product. You're sort of a category creator. So how do you explain it to people? Like obviously you explain to me, but like if you're doing samples or like how do you explain to somebody in a grocery store saying, hey, this is going to be good for your gut. You should probably try it out. Because not only does it taste good, but it's going to have lots of health benefits.
Yeah, so I love talking and I love talking about health. And so this is sort of filling that void for me now that I have retired and hung up my stethoscope as a primary care physician. So when I talk to customers, potential customers interested in learning about my product, it is a little bit of a blurb, like I would start saying, this is koji fermented brown rice, and I'm calling it breakfast pudding so you have an idea of how to eat it. I created this product out of frustration because I couldn't help my patients with their gut issues. And this is to help you heal your gut and improve your energy. But all this is a mouthful. So I am also partnering with a local university, and with helping their students, studying entrepreneurship to figure out and do some research about what are some of the better, concise words that I can add to my labels for my next run.
For sure. I think especially like with your product, it's good to explain to people, say, hey, listen, like the way that you're doing things now is a problem. Like it's like that's like getting the person to switch over and use your product. Because what's the alternative, right? Like you mentioned, people spending, thousands of dollars on something that's not going to work. So this way you have a natural solution that saves them money and there's like the health benefits. So yeah, focusing, listen, you're saving tons of money and you're feeling a lot better.
Yeah, the mainstream media is really catching on. Like last year in April, the New York Times Magazine had a big, huge Sunday issue in their magazine about gut health, gut microbiome. And their final conclusion was, we're not sure if those probiotic capsules and powders really help, but, eat fermented food, And then the Washington Post in July also had a similar article where they're talking about fermented foods. And, the wonders of fermented food is that it's a whole food. Like, because you have the probiotics that you're fermenting as well as their food. And, during the fermentation, you're also releasing postbiotics, which is the natural byproducts of the fermentation. So, I really believe that it's not truly the CFU count of a particular strains of probiotics or particular strains of lactobacillus that really is going to help us, but the results of the true time-tested fermentation where the probiotic is eating its food, flourishing, reproducing and also releasing healthy byproducts. And I truly believe that it's the healthy byproducts that is really gold for us. That's
For
going to help.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously that you just launched, but I guess like for 2024 to be successful for you, like what would that look like?
So right now, we are taking it step by step. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and do too many things and fail. There's a lot of companies, good companies with great products that are not making it. So we're really taking that to heart. So our first and foremost goal, even though I think this is a great product and there's a huge market for it, I have to prove and test market fit. So our strategy this year is really to get out there, get into as many retail stores that it seems appropriate for us, and demo and really get the word out, and hopefully partner with some do some PR marketing as well, and get some publications and things, and people who are really interested in this to get on board with us and test the market fit.
For sure. So what would you say is like the biggest challenge that you face right now in the business?
Just getting the word out. And obviously, I don't have a marketing background, and that's not a good enough reason if I'm an entrepreneur to say, but really figuring out best and most effective strategies of getting the word out. Because I feel like, I love talking about this, and I love this subject, and I love helping people to get healthy. And when I'm interacting directly one-to-one with customers and patients, I can certainly relay this message. But really figuring out a great strategy to, get this word out as if I'm talking to everyone one-to-one, but in a more of a mass marketing type of a way, I think that is going to help.
For sure. Like, what kind of feedback do you get like when you're doing these like samples? Like, have you gotten from your customers or potential customers?
Yeah, so some of my customers and slash I also consider them patients are looking up my contact information and reaching out and sending me these long, lengthy emails. And they're saying, "Hi, Dr. O. Oh my God, I need to tell you about the product and what it has done for me." And this kind of testimonial goes on and on. Like, I have patients who have had lifelong IBS and nothing really helped. And then they finally was introduced to my product by a friend or somebody, and they ate my food for like about a 10-day period, and they said, "Oh my God, this has really helped." I have another patient who, last year had a case of a stomach bug, and then for 10 months had like IBS symptoms on and off. Not like terribly health risking, or but it's just being a nuisance. But she has tried everything, expensive probiotics, had a colonoscopy, nothing was really helping. And then she ate my food for about a week, and then all of a sudden she said, "Oh my God, it really helped." Because koji fermentation has significant anti-inflammatory effect. And IBS, even though doctors don't really consider it as a truly inflammatory disease, I honestly believe that there's a small amount of inflammation along the linings of our bowel that causes all this, annoying symptoms, and the urgencies that keeps people at home, and and make them sort of antisocial. I have another patient who usually during the holidays have IBS symptoms from all the stress of coordinating and cooking, and she ate my food 2 to 3 tablespoons like every day during the holidays, and she said nothing. She didn't have her gut was calm. She didn't have any issues. And then her daughter had a terrible case of stomach bug just before the holidays. Like, she almost went to the emergency room. So we quickly shipped this out to her, and she was, mixing it with bananas and making smoothies and eating. And her recovery from the stomach bug was like much quicker. My own sister, who's 50 years old, she's an attorney. She's climbing the corporate ladder. She has 2 boys. She's running around. She's always eating on the run, and she's always feeling bloated. She would say, "At the end of the day, I feel so bloated and, full of gas. I don't know what to do. I feel like I can float." And she ate my food about 10 days, and she said, "Oh my God, I feel so much better." So these kind of testimonials go on. And sometimes when I hear myself speak, I feel like I'm sort of sounding crazy, like it's a crazy, marketing thing. But I don't know what to say. I mean, these are some of the
That's
feedbacks that
amazing.
be getting from patients and
I
customers.
love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess like, obviously now in 2024 that everybody's looking for high level technology like AI. So that's something that you've looked into. And I'm curious, like, if not, like, where do you think the AI could help out your business in 2024?
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I have to say I haven't really thought much about how AI can help, but I think AI, so the AI is really good for synthesizing information that already exists. But in a new product like this, I'm not sure how accurate the AI can help, but certainly harnessing AI in terms of marketing, in terms of figuring out how to target and get to the right people who are actually looking for this kind of product. I think I can think of those kind of ways that we can use and harness AI.
For sure. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this company?
Well, even if I knew this before I started the company, I would still go ahead and I don't do what I'm doing. But, starting a new company, especially when you're, without business background, marketing background, it's hard. It's very hard. It's daunting sometimes, sometimes intimidating. So I think you really have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared because, when you're a physician, my life in some ways was so easy. Just show up to work. I would have my 20 patients lined up, go to each of the rooms where my nurses will direct me to, and it was easy. Starting your own business and company, every aspect of the detail, everything requires your attention and your creativity. So, it's not an easy task. And I feel like I'm up for the challenge, but every day is, brainstorming, thinking outside of the box as to how I can, do what I need to do.
That's amazing. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
I see that next year, I'm hoping to expand our manufacturing capabilities by at least tenfold, if not hundredfold. I see that I will have raised capital, at least, seed money, and have hired some key players to help me grow this company, such as, marketing and people with business expertise, and sales expertise, so that we can really start this business.
Awesome. So if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your website or social media, I guess, best ways to get in contact with you?
Yes. So our website is hopscotchfoods.com, and our social media handle for all the social media is Eat Hopscotch. And, on my website, there's various emails also that you can reach out. And I'm also available on LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Dan. It was a lot of fun talking about myself.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.